Etheridge New Testament. The preaching of Matthew the Apostle. Then came to Jesus Pharisees and scribes, who were from Jerusalem, saying, Why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders, and wash not their hands when they eat bread? Jesus answered and said to them, Why also do ye transgress the commandment of God for the sake of your tradition? For God hath said, Honor thy father and thy mother, and whoso curseth his father or his mother, to die he shall die. But ye say, Every one who shall say to a father or to a mother, It is my oblation, whatever thou wouldst be profited by me, and shall not honor his father or his mother, shall be guiltless. Thus you have abolished the word of God for the sake of your tradition. Ye hypocrites, rightly prophesied concerning you Isaiah the prophet, and said, This people with the lips honor me, but their heart is very far from me. But in vain they reverence me, while they teach the doctrines of the commandments of men. And he called to the multitudes, and said to them, Hear, and understand. It is not that which, entering the mouth, contaminates a man, but that which shall come from the mouth, that contaminates a man. Then drew near his disciples, saying to him, Knowest thou that the Pharisees who heard this word were offended? But he answered and said to them, Every plantation which my Father who is in heaven hath not planted shall be rooted up. Leave them. They are blind leaders of the blind. But if a blind man shall lead a blind man, both shall fall into the ditch. And Simon Cephas answered and said, My Lord, expound to us this parable. But he said to them, Do you also not yet understand? Know you not that whatsoever entereth the mouth goeth into the belly, and from thence in purification it is cast without? But whatsoever from the mouth shall come forth, from the heart cometh forth. And this it is that contaminates a child of man. For from the heart proceed evil thoughts, adultery, murder, fornication, robbery, false witness, blasphemy. These are they which defile a man. But if any one eat when his hands are not washed, he is not defiled. And Jesus went forth from thence, and came to the borders of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a Canaanite woman from those coasts came forth, crying and saying, Have mercy upon me, my Lord, Son of David. My daughter is grievously possessed with a demon. But he did not return her an answer. And the disciples approached and requested from him, saying, Dismiss her, for she crieth after us. But he answered and said to them, I am not sent but to the sheep which have wandered from the house of Israel. Then she came, worshipped him, and said, My Lord, help me. Jesus said to her, It is not proper to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs. But she said, Even so, my Lord. Yet the dogs eat from the crumbs that fall from the tables of their masters, and live. Then said Jesus to her, O woman, great is thy faith. Be it to thee as thou wilt. And healed was her daughter from that hour. And Jesus passed from thence, and came near the sea of Galilee. And he ascended the mountain, and sat there. And there drew near to him great gatherings of people. And with them there were the lame, and the blind, and the dumb, and the mutilated, and many others. And they cast them at the feet of Jesus, and he healed them. So that those multitudes were astounded as they beheld the dumb speaking, and the mutilated made whole, and the lame walking, and the blind seeing, and they glorified the God of Israel. But Jesus himself called his disciples, and said to them, I have pity for this multitude, who, behold, for 3 days have continued with me, but there is nothing for them to eat. And to send them away fasting, I am unwilling, lest they should faint in the way. The disciples say to him, Whence can we have bread in the wilderness, that we may satisfy this whole multitude? Jesus saith to them, How many loaves have you? They say to him, 7, and a few small fishes. And he directed that the multitudes should recline upon the ground. And he took those 7 loaves, and the fishes, and offered praise, and brake, and gave to his disciples. And the disciples gave to the multitudes. And they all did eat, and were satisfied. And they took up of the abundance of fragments 7 baskets full. And they who had eaten were 4,000 men, besides women and children. And when he had dismissed the multitudes, he ascended into a ship, and came to the coasts of Megiddo.